everyone, it's Miss Sally again from Chandler Public Library, and we are going to make our St. Patrick's Day sock gnome today. This cute little guy right here. Here's what you'll need. You're going to need your rice, or you can use beans, or you can use sand. If you use sand, I do recommend putting it in a separate plastic bag before you put it into the sock. You're going to need 2 socks. St. Patrick's Day style, you can do just plain green. I have these fun little ones right here that I got at the dollar store. The unicorn will be the body. Rubber bands to hold the stuff together. A little wooden craft ball for the nose. A little shamrock charm. Orange fake beard. And this is a 4x4 square, and you can do larger, smaller, however you want to be. Scissors, hot glue, and a cup, which I'll show you what to do with later. All right, well, let's begin. So you want to take your first sock, just which one you're going to use. Since my socks are different sizes, I don't have to cut much, but if you have a sock like this that you're using for the body, you're going to cut it in half at the heel right here. So just right here. And I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, and then you can put this away because you may use it later. So here's our body. And now we're going to fill it with our rice, sand, beans, whichever you prefer. And the reason I'm going to use this cup is because I want to make it a little bit easier to pour my rice into the sock. And you can do a lot, you can do a little, it's however you want to do it. Yes, I will make a mess, but that is okay. I'm just going to take this out and continue filling. And I pat it down just to get all the rice in there to make it whatever shape that you want the body to be. I'll do a little bit more. I kind of want this guy to be tall. You want to take a rubber band and you want to rubber band the top. And I have these little ones right here. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more rice in because I want to kind of see that unicorn. The unicorn's going to be on the back for my gnome. There we go. Rubber band it. And then if you want, you can trim off the top a little bit. And then there we have our body right there. And then normally I would go back and just glue this down just to make sure that it won't like pop up or anything. I'm not going to do that, but I would also put a dab of glue right in the center so no rice can come out. But since the rubber bands are so tiny, we don't need to do that either. But if you need to, go for it. So now what I'm going to do is that since my unicorn is going to be on the back, this will be the front. I'm going to take the nose and I'm going to glue the nose on now. So this is where you probably want to lay them flat. Get your glue ready, and then just pick a spot on the body of where you want to do it. So I'll do mine, let's see, right here. I'm going to do a big old glob of glue. Please be careful, hot glue is really hot. I do have the burn from the first one that I made to prove it. Alright, so there's our nose. And I'll let that set aside for a little bit. And now you're going to take your other sock. And your other sock is going to be your hat. This little guy right here. And so if it's, depending on the size, you'll either have to cut it or you probably won't. I will have to cut mine. And just like the body, you have to cut it at the heel. Set the other stuff aside. And here's your hat. And I do like the different colors that I have because I like having this little brim for a hat, like this right here, little gray. I just like having that. And then if you want, you can take the leftover socks that you have cut off and you can scrunch them up, and this is where we'll make our little pom-pom. You just stick them all down at the very end, like so. But you have this nice little pom-pom. And you'll take another rubber band and rubber band it together so that we have our cute little hat. Like that. And then this is where I recommend putting the charm on. So if you take your charm and you just scrunch the sock up at the other end and just slide it on down like so. And what I did is that I did it kind of like a rubber band, and I did it twice so that it can really stay on there. There we go. Here's our little hat. So we're going to set this aside. This will be our last thing. And we're going to focus on our beard now. Now that our nose will stay up. So with the beard, what you want to do is that, I'm going to do mine freehand, but you can take a pen and you can sketch a little beard shape on the back. But with the fur, you don't want to go with your scissors just full on start cutting. You just want to go like this. Because then that'll cut off all this nice beard fur, and then it'll look like a nicely trimmed beard. We don't want that. We want our gnome to have this nice fluffy beard. So how you're going to do that is you're going to flip it over. You're going to take your scissors, and you're just going to snip along the backing of the beard. So we'll just carefully snip it. Little at a time until you get either your desired shape like I'm doing, or you're cutting along your traced out beard. Okay, like that. You just pull it apart, stick that to the side. But just little snips. Do is that you're going to cut a little U shape up at the top in the middle so that it'll fit right underneath this nose here. And again, you can draw it out, or you can just free cut it like I'm doing. But again, just snip it. Don't cut it. Just like that. That way, it'll fit right up underneath the nose. so now that you have it where you want it on your gnome for the beard, you're going to glue it down. So you just want to stick glue all over the place. Take a look at it and always go back, fill in more glue, just so that it stays down. And look at that, he's already looking like a little gnome. All right, and now for the hat. So you'll take your hat and position it where you want it. So like I said, I like the little brim on the front. So that will go toward the front. And you want to take the back and you just want to stretch it over. I'm not going to do it too much down the back because I like that little unicorn, so I want to keep that there. But normally I would stretch it all the way down to the back, kind of like what I did here. And then when you have it where you want it, you'll glue that down as well. And then just be careful of the fur because you don't want to get the hot glue on the fur. So there's our hat, and what I did at the end, as you can see, I kind of folded it over, and so I want to do that with this one. And let's see, I think I'll do it on this side. So when I have it where I want it, I'm going to glue the little pom-pom to the gnome. Just hold it till it stays. And then put the little shamrock on the front. And there you have it. There is your St. Patrick's Day sock gnome. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.